Hello and welcome. We're talking about something absolutely essential today, safeguarding in apprenticeships. Now, this isn't about ticking boxes on a policy document, it's about creating a culture of awareness to protect learners. So, if you work with apprentices in any way, shape, or form, this is for you. We're going to dig into how you can spot harm, especially when it's trying to stay hidden.
So let's just jump right in with a question. When you hear that word harm, especially in a professional setting, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Go on, really think about it for a second.
Because, for most of us, we picture something dramatic, something obvious. But the truth is, harm is often way more subtle than that. It's like an iceberg. The most dangerous part is almost always the stuff you can't see, hidden right under the surface. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack together today.
Okay, first things first, we have to get our mindset right, because effective safeguarding isn't about memorizing a bunch of rules. Nope. It's about developing a skill, something active, something we call professional curiosity.
So, what is professional curiosity? Well, it's that little voice in your head, that gut feeling that something just feels a bit off. It's having the willingness to actually pay attention to that feeling. But, and this is so important, it's not about putting on a detective hat. Your role is simply to be alert and to notice, not to investigate or analyze.
All right, with that mindset locked in, let's look at what we're actually searching for. Harm isn't just one thing, it's a whole spectrum, and you'll see that most of it is a lot less visible than you'd think.
Let's get the most obvious one out of the way first, physical harm. This is what we all think of, right? An injury. But remember, it's not just about what has happened, it's also about any pattern of behavior or situation that's putting an apprentice at physical risk.
Now, this next one is probably one of the most common and also one of the hardest to see. Emotional harm. It doesn't leave bruises you can see. Instead, the clues often show up in communication. Maybe you notice a sudden shift in how someone writes their emails or their messages are all over the place. Or maybe you just get a sense that an apprentice is becoming more and more isolated. When we talk about sexual harm, the definition is incredibly broad. It covers everything from physical actions to inappropriate jokes or even online messages. And I need to be absolutely crystal clear about this. There is no threshold for reporting. You don't wait. The second you have even the smallest suspicion, you escalate it to your safeguarding lead. No exceptions. Financial harm. This is all about someone controlling or exploiting an apprentice's money. Now, you might see signs of this in strange requests about their pay, or maybe in messages that just give you the feeling they're under pressure from someone else about their finances. Okay, so far, we've really focused on harm between people. But what happens when the problem isn't a person, but the system itself? Let's take a look at the kind of harm that can be built right into the places we work. Organizational harm is when the work environment itself is failing. Just think about it. Are the lines of communication clear for everyone? Is there a real support system in place, or are there cracks in the system where a learner could just fall through? For anyone in an admin or management role, spotting when these systems are broken is a massive part of safeguarding. These days, a huge part of any apprenticeship is lived online. And that, of course, opens the door to digital harm. We're talking about everything from online bullying to being exposed to dangerous content. It's a space where we all have to be extra vigilant. Neglect is another one of those really subtle forms of harm. It's often defined by what isn't happening. It's the failure to meet someone's basic needs. And look, this isn't always malicious. It can just be a pattern of missed check-ins or emails that go unanswered for way too long. It's that lack of support that should have been there. So, we've got a pretty good idea now of what harm can look like. But how do we get better at actually reading the signs? Let's dive into a few key ideas that give us the context we need. Let's get one thing straight right away. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's not a character flaw, and it's not some permanent state. It's simply a situation where, for whatever reason, maybe circumstances, maybe health, someone has less of an ability to protect themselves. Understanding this helps us see risk for what it is, without judgment. Grooming is a scary word, and for good reason. It's a deliberate, manipulative process where someone builds trust with one goal in mind: to exploit them later. It can happen fast, and the signs might be subtle at first. This is another one of those non-negotiables. Any hint of this kind of dynamic needs to be escalated immediately. If there's one thing I really want you to take away from this whole section, it's this. A single weird email, a one-off missed meeting, that could be anything.
But a pattern of strange emails, a pattern of missed meetings and excuses, that's when your professional curiosity should be screaming. Patterns are the real red flag. And that leads us right into our final and, honestly, our most important part. You've noticed something. You've spotted a pattern. So now what? What do you actually do? Let's be really, really clear about your job description here. Your role is to be the eyes and ears. You observe, you record the facts, just the facts, and you escalate. What is not your role? Investigating, diagnosing, making a final call. Leaving that stuff to the experts is what frees you up to act without worrying about getting it wrong.
It all boils down to this super simple 3-step process. Observe, record, escalate. You notice something that feels off, you write down exactly what you saw or heard, with dates, and then you pass it on to the right person. That's it. That's your role. Observe, record, escalate.
And please, remember this. You do not need proof. You don't need to be 100% certain. The bar for raising a concern is set very, very low on purpose. Your job isn't to be right. Your job is to make sure the concern gets to the people who are trained to figure it out.
And really, this quote says it all, doesn't it? It is always better to raise a concern than to miss something. The risk of staying quiet and being wrong is so much greater than the risk of speaking up and being wrong. This is the heart of good safeguarding. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. Based on what we've talked about, what is one small, practical thing you can do this week to be just a little bit more aware, a little more vigilant in your role? Thanks so much for your time.